man, you can be a model. I was like, are you sure? Second guessing. He said, yes, try it out. So he was into fashion and design by that time. So I brushed it off.
Park is the CITAM University, is it?
Okay, right now it's CITAM is the biggest sponsor, so definitely it's under CITAM. Washington, you got this. You got the height, you got the physique, you can go for it. I remember me and my bro sourcing for clothes during the last day of Mr. and Miss University, Mr. and Miss Pan Africa Christian University. The only thing that I had, it was the bespoke suit. I didn't know that I was going to win, but all my focus was, if I win, well and good. If I lose, I have tried my best. Man, your confidence is so low. So the thing is, will you get confidence when you get on stage? I even remember I had to change my sports outfit just to ensure that doesn't look so much obscene or vulgar in some sort of way.
Yes.
One thing that I told myself, if I'm going for a runway, then it has to be on a world stage. First client that I ever worked with was Century Hotels and Lodges, and that was 2023 June. So it's when I got another client, or rather got an opportunity to work with. Now it was a TVC, and I remember it very well. It was I&M Bank. When I got the auditions, I saw big names. That was one of the least paying jobs.
Yes,
but
Safaricom.
Modeling has never been considered as
as
an industry, as a profession per se. If you're a model, you have to start working on your portfolio.
Wow, I'm excited. Another week, another episode 6 of Sash and Style Season 2. Oh my God, every other time I get beautiful people to just come and tell their story. Today, our gentlemen, we rarely bring men into the show, but again, their story is interesting. Today, I have a gentleman. Most of the time, I don't like to introduce, but then I'll ask him to introduce. But before I go into that, if you haven't subscribed to Sash and Style, kindly click that dot, then let's move. But all in all, we thank God for bringing us this far. And without further ado, Mr. Man.
Yes, sir.
These people want to know who you are.
So, to begin with, Washington Makoha is my name. I'm a brand and commercial model. On the other side, I'm a big fitness enthusiast. I really champion for men getting fit, working out, and just working on their body and, just transformation generally. Yeah, so that is who I am. Professionally, I'm a journalist by profession. That is something that I'm here to now fully venture in, because something that I will also, and I am passionate about, that is journalism, and not only journalism, but now communication at large, because we know in each and every sphere and specter, like of any organization, even our day-to-day lives, we communicate. So that's one thing that is part of me, and I love it.
Great. The great introduction. Today I'll use the name DC, Washington. This show is Sash and Style. It's about, I think, everything you talked about: fitness, fashion, branding, and all that.
Yeah.
But once you start from where you started,
yes,
there's no school where you're going to become a model. You just discover. It's a talent you discover.
Yes.
So can you take us through your journey in modeling?
Yes. It's an interesting journey or story, if I can say. So before I got first time on stage, well, this is a story that I never thought that I'll share one day, but here we are. So I started working out. So when I started working out, I think it was 2 years into my working out progress, or after starting. So a friend of mine saw me at the gym. So you normally gym rats after they are pumped, after they are lifted heavy, they normally pause the camera, not even the camera, the mirror. So he saw me and he's like, man, you can be a model. I was like, are you sure? Second guessing. He said, yes, try it out. So he was into fashion and design by that time. So I brushed it off. So during my third year, or I think fourth year into working out, I developed interest.
You see, third year,
Yeah.
you just mentioned you're a journalist.
Yeah.
And mostly when we hear about journalists, we're talking about Kenya Mass.
Yes.
Is that where you went to?
How I wish I went to. Because when I was filling the university selection, that is COOPS, I selected Kenya Mass, and then these other multimedia. But unfortunately, I didn't get the chance or opportunity. Plus, I also selected Nairobi University. But I ended up in such an amazing space, which it has also helped me grow. Park University or Pan-Africa Christian University. So while I was at Park.
Park is the CITAM University, is it?
Okay, right now it's CITAM is the biggest sponsor, so definitely it's under CITAM.
Yeah, because somebody might not understand what Park is. So again, there's a where's Park?
Where's Park?
Who is Park?
Who is Park?
So I just wanted the audience to know Park is somewhere near you, say you where and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's in Roysambu, the bustling city. You know, Roysambu is a city on its own, very busy with a lot of things going on. But in that environment, we find that there's also a space of worship, of which homes, or it's the home of Pan-Africa Christian University, just like the name sounds, Christian. So there was something called Pan-Africa Christian University Got Talent. So that was in March 2022. So friend again, my friends were like, Washington, you got this. You got the height, you got the physique. You can go for it. You can try. So by that time, I didn't have the attires, the right attires. So I chickened out because the competition required me to have an official, cultural, casual, and then traditional. And it was in a very short time frame, so I didn't get to prepare. So I chickened out. I was like, no, this is not meant for me. So later on, after I chickened out, I saw how it went down. So I told myself, or rather I took an initiative on how to prepare for the next pageant event, of which it was now the crowning of Mr. and Miss Pan-Africa Christian University 2022-2023. So I got the attire, some of them.
Just after the pandemic.
Yes. And then we were back. We were back on campus, and life was kind of getting back to normalcy. And, you know, during that time, we were doing online classes for so long. So we were getting back to campus vibe, the hype, the energy. Because if you compare the 2018 to 2019 pageant event, it was packed compared to after post-COVID. So that is my journey. And then now, during that time, I got ready. I prepared myself. But again, I didn't get the right attires. I remember me and my bro sourcing for clothes during the day, the last day of Mr. and Miss University, Mr. and Miss Pan-Africa Christian University. The only thing that I had, it was the bespoke suit. That I was sure of it.
Yes.
So I had to look for casual outfit, but that was easy. Creative wear, we didn't have anything, or we didn't get anything to be creative of, or we can say it was creative. So we thought to ourselves, like, get them sacks, rip them off, tailor something like a skirt, put on some sandals, and make a vest, and it will appear like it's an Egyptian thing. So it was never creative. We were out of ideas and time as well. And then now for professional, I got something, the firefighter armor, what they put on again on the very last day. Wow. I didn't have the cultural wear as well. I got it 20 minutes after the event started. So it was a whole tussle. So when I got on stage, this is just the story of how it happened. I was determined. I didn't know that I was going to win, but all my focus was, if I win, well and good. If I lose, I have tried my best. So that is how I got into pageantry. And funny enough, it was my first time on stage. Of course, and then we had 2 weeks to prepare. So prepared, got myself. I was also serious with training because by that time I was also ripped. So got on stage, and lucky enough, with so much hard work, I got the sash.
Yes.
Yes. So that is how I got myself into pageantry.
Very different story from most of the queens and kings that come.
Yeah.
Most of their stories, they kept trying and trying and trying and trying.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get that opportunity of just going in and winning,
Yeah.
which some of them either change or give up on the profession.
Yeah.
But you're lucky here, it's your first time.
Yeah.
You're rushing to prepare things and then win. Does it mean the competition wasn't as hard as other competition, or it's just that you had focused and said, let it be?
So the competition was tough. This is one of the most tough competitions, or rather most competitive pageant event since 2019, 2018 tenure. So we had people who really pulled their A game. And I remember one of can I say someone who we were contesting with, asking me about my confidence. He was like, man, your confidence is so low. So the thing is, will you get confidence when you get on stage? Then I told him, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. So this is a competitor asking you a question. So already he has seen a weakness in you. Meaning, given a chance, he's going to use it against you.
Yes.
So it was tough. We were 6 men, tall, people who had really invested in coming up with their attires. They had collected their things together and packaged it in very nice and peculiar way. And when they got on stage, it was a killer game. So the competition was tough. I think the only thing that stood out, it was me. I did my best. So yeah, so that is how it went down.
Yeah, I remember, I think I was a judge there, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
And it wasn't easy. And it was different from other competition. I remember that category where you gathered to cook and the judges tasted your food to judge.
Yes.
I would admit that was the first event that I had that category.
Yes.
It wasn't fun. My lawyer, other co-judges enjoyed because of that. But as we say, sometimes you first try and win.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that if you don't win the first time, you give up. He's so special.
Yes.
Now, before we go to the next step,
Yes.
this is a Christian school.
Yes.
Most Christians still haven't embraced pageantry
Yes.
as a talent.
Yes.
Some of them feel it's evil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How comes Pan-Africa as a Christian school was able to embrace pageantry?
Pageantry.
Yes.
So one thing that made them embrace the pageantry is because the Mr. or the Miss is the brand ambassador of the institution. Whether they like it or not, they have to front someone or 2 people to receive guests, to be on their pages, to also be on their flyers, and just to show diversity and everything that goes around park. So for that to happen, they have to support the pageantry. However, it was not an easy job, considering the fact that this is a conserved society or community, a community that, the way you put it, might see it as evil. I remember even when we were preparing, there's some music or type of music we were not allowed to use. to use during that competition.
Event, yes.
But we went and fronted a petition saying, this, as much as this is a Christian university, there's some kind of music we can't use on stage, and there's some that we can use on stage. So we had to really request and for them to have mercy on us, for us to just do our thing. I even remember I had to change my sports outfit just to ensure that doesn't look so much obscene or vulgar in some sort of way.
Yes, yes.
So I had to put on a longer shirt. However, I was planning to put on a shorter short. That is the right word to use.
Yeah.
Even for the ladies, they struggled. Some outfits, they were like, no, you can't go on stage like that. So it wasn't easy until we had to have a sit down and reach a consensus. Like, this is the way it have to go. So again, we had limits. You can't go beyond this. For our name will be tarnished. And we're like, no, we are still part of the community. So this is just for a show. Nothing much here. So it was a bit of a struggle, but thanks to the dean, he understood and gave us some limits to go. Yes.
Yeah, because I know Christianity is even worse in Islamic. In 2002, Miss World was meant to be done in Nigeria.
Yeah.
One journalist, and you know, a journalist, you want that negative. They say negative sells more than positive. So one journalist just wrote, if Mohammed saw these legs, the world contestant in Nigeria, would he turn his head back? And Lagos went down in fires. These contestants had to be moved from Lagos back to London for the event to happen. An opportunity that Africa lost because of a religion.
Yes.
I know it's sensitive at some part.
Yeah.
Like Miss World, there's bikini wear, but not on stage. You go to the beach just to avoid that religion fights.
Yeah.
As a leader, as Mr. Park,
yes,
there's some things you're limited to do and not to do.
Yeah.
And I think I hear if it wasn't for the flowers or welcome, because most of the university, the Mr. and Miss are flower girls.
Yeah.
But there's so much to pageantry than carrying flowers or welcoming.
Yes.
Is it the same at your university? Because I talked to some of the beauty queens and like, me and my friend just convinced me to go and do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just there as a title holder and stuff like that. But without deep meaning of what pageantry is.
Yeah, so when we got the crown, so we had to at least champion for inclusivity of pageantry as part of the school year calendar, of which it's been there, but now at least give it an upper hand when it comes to recognizing talents and art. You know, we are all blessed differently. There's some people who are academically blessed. They'll do better in academics, but when it comes to art, they won't do much. And on the other hand, we have people who will do better in art and not so well in academics or academia. So bridging the gap between the two, we really champion for them to recognize that. So for that to happen, then these Mr. or crowned Mr. and Miss should not just be seen as flower girls, as quote unquote they call. Rather be seen as brand ambassadors, people who carry the university outside there. Because of course, we have close to, let's say, maybe 1,000 students, but not all of them can be representative.
Exactly.
And on the other side, they're still representative, so we need to fund people. So how do we do about it, or how do we go about it? These people should be respected as much as respect is earned. They also need to respect the art. By that, if it's possible, some of their units should be catered for from the university. And if that is not the case, then even accommodation, if that is the least, leave alone accommodation. How about dressing? We are having an event coming up. I'm representing the school. So if you can't dress me the way you want me to look and to appear, it won't be a good reflection back to the university. So that takes us to three things. At least dress us in the best way possible, the way you want us to appear, because yes, we want to receive your guests. We can't receive your guests
Just
in a
like
pair
that,
of
yeah.
how about our academics? Then pay for some of our units.
Yeah.
How about accommodation? These are the things that people struggle with.
Basics, yes.
The basic things that makes a student get better in studies and even around campus. And of course, we know people come from different backgrounds.
Sure.
And there's been also, quote unquote, people tend to think pageantry is for elites. If you're into pageantry, then you're coming from a wealthy background, so you can take care of yourself. No. There's some people who are there for passion, so they need to be taken care of, more so in a diverse society and school or institution. Yes.
Just to help with that point, pageant is not for the elites. 60 to 70% of pageant is your inner beauty, leadership, love, unity, and stuff like that. So that also has been misunderstood.
Yeah. So
anybody can be a beauty queen. It's just like leadership. I regret the last election where there was a division between the hustler and the who have. A community should never be judged like that. It's the same thing pageant is trying to push, where the entire world come together to get a queen that represent the world for 1 year. And this is the same thing with the university. I meet other deans and like, the girl you guys chose is the worst girl. We find her at the clubs. We find her with old men and stuff like that. For my pageant, I usually tell the contestants, one of the things we have to do, I don't stop you from doing alcohol and stuff. Wine, because people will now start telling you, even Jesus changed wine to alcohol. But you cannot do alcohol in public, because you never know what will turn to be, and then you're going to be with your sash on the floor. Without your wish, you start regretting. And in this world, the worst thing is regret.
Yes.
Moving forward, you're done with the crowning, you're crowning the new person.
Yes.
How did the reign, what did you do with your reign? How did that 1 year move when you're a king?
Trust you me, it was just like a blink of an eye. Yes. By the time I was realizing we were done, you understand, like it was a very short-lived.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it came at the time I was also transitioning from campus, because I was already done with my studies.
Yes.
So I was transitioning from campus to corporate life, or let's say life after campus.
Campus, yes.
So technically, I had a lot on my table by that time. So what I managed to do, the little time that I got, I managed to do, it was juggling between, by the way, I was juggling between the the crown, transition from campus to outside life, and then now my fitness part as well. So what we managed to do that during that time, there was something we came up with, which was putting a smile on a face. That is for the ladies, and even for men, mental empowerment, and those discussion, men getting to talk or air out their views, not even their views, but their struggles. Because we all know sometimes society has put it so hard for men to talk their emotions or even express them. So that is a conversation that we had during that time, and we championed for it. For the girl child, it was about the menses, and then now provision of pads, and requesting the school to also help us in also providing, or we'll say collecting and offering them. And then for those guys who didn't also have a meal, we also championed for the institution to at least also help us in collecting foodstuffs for them, and to ensure that they also get a meal and feel like they are part and one of us. Not even feel like they're at home and they need not to shy away from asking for help. Because we all know that is the time when sometimes dreams are lost, doors are shattered when it comes to someone going beyond their ambitions. Yeah, so that was the main highlight from my
Those
tenure.
are beautiful challenges that you highlighted. For example, men are not talking.
Yes.
Men are believed not to shed a tear.
Yes.
It looks weakness.
Yes.
But again, we need to tear. We are human beings.
Yes.
And I think women have learned that when they're told you
Yeah.
must be in the kitchen, and they started rebelling. And now we're seeing some fruits where women are in leadership because they realize the only place is not the kitchen.
Yeah.
Men need to realize that tears is not just for women.
Yes.
You're seeing a lot of cases where a man has gone and stabbed a wife like 100 times.
Yeah.
In Western, probably say it's ugali, or somebody took your temple.
Yes.
I think it's just that bitterness that has developed, and this has triggered.
Yes.
So we need to take care of a brother. If you're Mr., take some few men and just sit down and see what really we're going through. We'll go out and drink the whole night, and somebody else is going back. They don't even know where they're going to sleep. Their house has been locked, but they're too shy to talk about whatever they're going through.
Yes.
So let's talk. Let's have men that you can discuss with.
Yeah.
And I think the misters that we are very few misters.
Yes.
But we need to start a step by step.
Yes.
So thank you for the opportunity that you gave the Park University to be able to market. I talked to some of them who came after you, and they're very aggressive. They keep calling, hey, Baba, what can we do?
Yes.
Is Mr. University back and stuff like that?
Yes.
So I can attest to that there have been changes since then.
Yes.
But moving forward, you said you're out of campus.
Yes.
And your title probably is not so much, for it will be written in the history book. You're Mr. Park, that cannot be taken away.
Yes.
So you're out in the world and now decided, I want to move and do my career and also the extracurricular.
Yes.
Tell us now where you moved from pageant into fashion. Yes.
So it was I can say it was a paradigm shift, not only paradigm, but it was a swift transition as well. But of course, it is just like in any other field. When you're transitioning, there's a lot that happens. So when I was in pageantry, I was still into fashion. So when I got outside here, I was like, now it's a full-time thing. Now I can do fashion, I can do modeling. But now I look back, and this is one thing that I had to call myself. That solo conversation that you normally have, unajiita mkutano, quote unquote. So runway, yes, done. It was the first time, yes, you got it. So what's next? That is the question that used to run in my head. What's next? I dubbed it, I think I even wrote it down, life after campus. It's not that I was not living life outside campus by that time. I was experiencing life after campus. But now...
In fact, in episode 5, Miss Ath was present, and my question to her is, when did you start listening to yourself? And that's exactly what you're talking about. Yes. You started listening to yourself and say, this is what I want to do. Life after campus.
Life after campus. One thing that I asked myself is like, you tried it for the first time. It means this is something. It's never easy. Plus, it should not be now blowing your own trumpet, but you should be grateful. And that means that is something that you can build on. So that was the first trigger to me now, pushing now. So I again did the research, not only research, but I sat down and kind of viewed the industry and how it moves. I found that runway mostly ends with campus. And if it's not campus, then it's international stage. Of course, we have other Mr. What, I don't want to mention the titles, well and good. But now, transitioning from campus to outside here, one thing that I told myself, if I'm going for a runway, then it has to be on a world stage. So having said that, then where should I first or where should I go? I now ventured into commercial and brand modeling. So that was my next move. So I started building slowly. I'm telling you, I went for auditions day, sometimes night, without getting a job or without being selected. But one thing I knew for sure, I wanted to do it. So now I carried I transitioned from runway to brand and commercial modeling. On the other hand, remember, I'm a fitness enthusiast. This is something that I fell in love with. So I was also building my physique, not only physique as well, but just helping also people get those bodies, transformation, and feel good. So it was fitness combined with brand and commercial modeling. Yeah, so that is how I transitioned. And also fashion as well. Yes.
Yeah, so one thing you said is you went again and again and again, and nothing was coming out.
Yes.
In season 1, I interviewed one of the most established advertising model. His name is Maurice Dante. I don't know if you met him in the industry.
Yes.
Maurice said he did auditions and auditions and auditions. I met Maurice when he was Mr. KU many years. So when he was seated at where you're sitting,
yes,
I was like, one time he went for audition and he was number 1005. At some point you give up because you're like, wow, this is what they're looking for. Yes. So the people are rehearsing people backstage. This guy is so eloquent and stuff like that. So he was almost giving up when his first biggest breakthrough was coming out. So number 700, it's like, wait, let me give up. So he was called, he stayed, his inner mind told him, boss, just stay. So 105 pub, he went in around 9. He was there 9 in the morning. He went in about 10 o'clock in the evening. And that was his first call. And after that, things just went again and again and again. So great. DC.
Yes.
You've gone for auditions.
Yes.
Tell us which was the first callback
that
now changed the entire scene of advertising.
Yes. So before I even got to be crowned a minister, I had already started going for auditions. Or rather, I was starting to get into the audition scene and getting to know how things work. So it took some 6 to 8 months for me to get a call back. I remember walking in the studio, did a photo shoot, and just like any other day, I was like, if they pick me, well and good. If it goes, unnoticed, or let's say the client doesn't like me, it's still not good. So the first client that I ever worked with was Century Hotels and Lodges, and that was 2023 June. And it was my first time professionally. It was my first time on set. And the feedback that I got from the photographers and even from the client as well, because I remember during that time, they called me back. So I knew there was something again. I remember back then when I went on stage and got the crown, it was an indication there was something. And during this time, it was just, I was patiently waiting for one day to come and also do work for a brand, or let's say for marketing, or just do advertisement. So Centrim was my first client. So after Centrim again, I had to auditions for several auditions, and go for auditions after auditions. It got to a time I was almost quitting, but I told myself I've come a long way to quit. So after, again, it took close to 8 months to see. It was a period of, because it was in June, and then now I got a call back in now February, that is 2024. So you can imagine that is 8 months. So it's when I got another client, or rather got an opportunity to work with, now it was a TVC, and I remember it very well. It was I&M Bank. Yeah. So that was my second now client. That is when it comes to advertising, marketing, TVC. Yes.
Great. Now, these two events, these two advertising,
Yes.
are direct.
Yes.
In the past, what would happen is there's a modeling agency,
Yes.
advertising agency, then
Yes.
the client.
Yes.
Most models don't understand
Yeah.
that you need to go through a process.
Yeah.
And it's much easier
Yeah.
to be in an agency to be able to get those return calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes even some auditions you'll hear from friends,
Yes.
but the auditions where agents will call you and tell you, boss,
Yeah.
we're doing an ad for Safaricom,
Yes.
be at this place at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Centrum and I&M,
Yes.
was it the client calling you direct or with an agency? Tell us, there are models out there who want to know how do I go about it.
Yes.
Somebody's in Kakamega, they look all the best in Mombasa.
Yeah.
They want to venture into the industry. Most people don't like competition, so they're scared to go into pageantry.
Yes.
But they want to go into fashion. They want to go into an uncompetitive work.
Yes.
But like you said, like even in advertising, it's competition because you go among others to be chosen.
Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, did you just go direct? The 6 months that you're struggling to get the next ad, do you have an agency or stuff like that?
To begin with, I think it's every model's wish to be called by a client, or let's say by an agency, like there's a job and this is for you. That is ultimately the biggest dream in this industry. So during that time, I was not under an agency. I just went for a photo shoot. And then, yes, there was an agency involved, but not like I was an in-house model. Because now when you become in-house, you know, you're prime. You know, if jobs are available, you're the first person to be called, or you are on the first call list. But for these, no, it was, I don't want to say trial and error, but yes, there was an agency involved. For instance, the first job, a very good agency called Bambazuka was involved. On the second one, it was Brad's Fashion. So what happened again in these two scenarios, or in these two cases, for me to land the job, I went for auditions, not technically auditions, but for photo shoots. And then one thing that I believe is there was a whole lot of people that also did the same thing. So what happened is, I believe, and I still have a strong feeling that my pictures, or rather all of our pictures, were shared. And when that happened, maybe I still believe the client chose me. Yes.
So again, what I wanted to get out from you is, you can be a freelance.
Yes.
But there's that loyalty that
Yes.
I'm able to call
Yes.
DC and it won't disappoint me.
Yes.
A lot of Kenyan models want to go freelance because the industry is not liberalized.
Yes.
And I keep giving guys example. The only competitor with the modeling industry is football.
Yes.
So you cannot go to Manchester United. It doesn't matter how big you are.
Yes.
There must be an agent that will sign with Manchester.
Yes.
If it doesn't depend. I mean, it doesn't depend where you're coming from. For example, you'll be in a village in Kakamega, and they spot you. So there must be an agent.
Yeah.
So the agent will sign on your behalf. So things are easy.
Yes.
Now the same thing with the modeling industry.
Yes.
It's easier to have an agent, and a serious client will listen to a model with an agency.
Yeah.
And all over the world, the big modeling industry.
Yes.
Some agency, because of corruption and stuff in Kenya, some agency have misused models, used their, squandered their money.
Yes.
So agencies have been overtaken.
Yes.
But there's still some clients who will not give a model director job, because what will happen is 2 years later they come and say we never signed a contract, or there's nothing to lose. It's like let's do, for example, a business. Yeah. There's a business name and there's a limited. Yeah. A limited company, the owner cannot be tried, the secretary will be tried, and that's the lawyer. Mm-hmm. But a business name, you go to court. So it's the same thing. When you are freelance, you have nothing to lose. But then it will take longer for you to get information. You come as a third party. And in this world, who do you know? And that's how business is done wherever. The billionaires sit in a billionaires club and they decide this is how we want to control the world. You're looking at the history of America right now. The owner of X, Elon, controls America because of his connection and the president of America now.
Yes.
So again, any young person out there that wants to go into the industry, it's not the easiest industry. It's one of the most crazy and dirty industry. So you must know how to maneuver among the crocodiles that are in there. So we don't say it was easy for him. He said it took him quite some time to get into the industry. And the industry, I've interviewed two people who've really done ads. There's Dante and there's Maureen Waititu. Their story is just amazing. And once you start getting into the ads, everyone wants to see, hey, that model looked nice in that ad. So again, if they're not competitive brands, they'll look for you instead of going into advertisement. And like you said, if you're in contract, your agency will always say, this one looks nice and these are the photos it's taken. So it's much easier to go into branding. So there are two of those you've done.
Yes.
You've done I&M.
Yes.
Recently I saw you on a Safaricom ad.
Yes.
Can you tell the audience, how was that? Safaricom is the biggest brand in East and Central Africa.
Yes.
It's not just an easy brand that you just go and get an ad.
Yes.
How was that?
It's a very interesting story. A story that sometimes when I think about it, I just laugh at myself. So after I&M again, it was can I say, a dry spell.
Yes, yes.
Because now for the Safaricom gig came in June, almost July. So there was auditions, and I think they auditioned twice. I tend to believe that the first audition, maybe they didn't get what they were looking. Let's say specifications. So during this time, I was doing something called bulking. For those gym rats know what bulking is. I was eating really good food and also training hard, so I was bulked. And I sometimes joke that I had chicks. So an ad came, or let's say an audition came. So it was around June during the...
This year?
This year.
No,
last year.
2024.
During the protest time. So I had again gone for several auditions, the bread auditions, fuel, what, name them all. Close to 10, 12, around, the number. So I was giving up. So it was on this particular Saturday. I was coming from the gym and I had just done CrossFit. For those who understand, CrossFit is very intense. Exactly. So I was tired. All I wanted to do is get home, take a shower, grab something and sleep for some 2 good hours, then, get up again. So Brad's, that is the agency that I worked with.
It's a brand, my friend, good friend,
Brad, yes. Brad, good at his job. Really does.
I saw him the other day, I think, on one of these ads. Food Fit or something?
Yes.
Yes.
He's doing a good job. Shout out to him. So he had texted in the group. And then the auditions were closing at 3. So I was contemplating, should I go or not? And by that time, I had not even cleaned up or shaved. I was rusty, sort of. So he sent, just like any other, the way he normally sends auditions, like you can try out this one. So I was like, okay, he has sent me. But of course, there's so many
Others, yes.
that others that it happens, like he shares. So it's up to you. It's up to you to take your own initiative and show up, or even decide not to show up. So I put on a suit. Of course, I love suits. Put on a suit. They wanted their sharp look, their tie, and chucked. I went to the auditions. When I got to the auditions, I saw big names. I saw people who are really making it when it comes to TVC and commercial modeling.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I had to hide so that they don't see me that I was also at the auditions. I was like, if these guys are here, then why am I here? It's not that I fear competition, but I was like, I've seen this before. You show up for an audition and sometimes nothing comes out of it. So all I wanted was to go, to be unnoticed, do the auditions and check. So I had to hide. It's a funny story. It was under garage, basement. So I had to hide. They went out. They were done with the auditions. So I went in feeling like, oh, man, this is not mine. So when I walked in, good thing is there was so much, there were less people remaining, because now I was even the last person to enter before they closed the door. That shows how I was like, I'm just here for, let me just do and go. So when I got on camera, I just wanted to be out of that place. It took me 20 minutes to audition and to be out. So I went on camera, I did my thing. I didn't realize they had seen me, like they wanted to work with me. So all I wanted again was to check, to get out of. So my next destination was Arboretum. I just wanted to unwind. I love nature, so I just wanted to relax. So 20 minutes, I was done. I didn't even interact normal way, asking people, getting to know people. No, it was 20 minutes and I'm gone. So I went to Arboretum. Too bad it was closed, so I had to take my sorrows home.
Yeah.
So 1 week later, or 4 days or so, I saw my name being added in a group. And then Brad goes on and says, this is one of the least paying jobs. That is what he said. So are you guys okay? Personally, to me, it was already a win. I'm here. As much as I was not so much into it, I'm here. I was happy. I remember I just jumped. I was like, oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's how it happened. Yes.
Wow. So what I hear from you, and I've heard most models saying, I'm not going for any audition because there are already people who are selected.
Yeah.
So we're just going to add extras.
Yeah.
So it means you can go for auditions and still win the position because you are who you are, and not because somebody has pushed you for the auditions. And I believe I cannot push you for a brand and the brand owners do not believe you can do it.
Yes.
So again, Kenyans, you keep working, your day would come. I was just saying in pageantry, like for example, the 3 winners, first round, second round up, any of them can be a winner. It's just that time and the grace of God has not come. That's why the crown is not on your head. So anything you do in life, just make sure there's a bad day and good day. Even like in football, there's the day you're just scoring, there's a day it's just not working out. So you're done and you're doing advertising, so probably next week you might be called for another audition and win. I just realized some people might not know what A&M is. Probably just to add, probably explain to that Kenyan who doesn't know.
Yeah.
You've been on that ad, or probably they've seen you, but they don't know. Oh, that's the guy. Yeah.
Just again, let's go back a little bit. I said Brad said that was one of the least paying jobs.
Yes,
but
Safaricom.
yes,
Yes.
but wonders happened, and I think it happened to be one of my most paying jobs, because when I got there, I landed another job that was print. I did print as well. So
for the same brand?
Same brand, yes.
Okay.
So when I was on set, or while I was on set, I signed another deal. So just to put it outside there that I had already given up, and just to mention that he already said it was the least paying job, but it turned out to be one of my best jobs. So never give up. That is
great.
Never give up. That is one thing that I told myself, and never to lose hope. You know, it's over until it's over. So that's it. It really taught me a lesson, like taught me a tough lesson, how to go about things and even approach life in a different way, in a more positive ways. There's some days you say you win, there's some days you lose.
Yes.
The only issue that matters is you to keep pushing. So I&M this is a bank. One of my friend just the other day was making a joke, or it's a meme. I&M bank ni bank ya wale wajanja wa town. For those who know Nairobi streets, those who know how to maneuver, that is a bank meant for them. But this is just a financial institution like any other institution, KCB, Equity, Cooperative, Kingdom, NCB, all of them. And Juicy, or yesterday, or just a few days ago, or when we were doing the ad, we were celebrating 50 years. So this is a bank that has been
in existence, yes.
Yes, in existence for the past 50 years. You know, that is
big.
Half a century. So it means, as much as it might not be that known compared to the rest of the banks, this is also a stable financial institution that will offer you better rates when it comes to savings, and also for those who like to buy mortgages, or those who like to even invest when it comes to loans and funding. Grants, I won't mention on that, but I'm pretty sure they also have a procedure. Yeah.
Yeah, you spoke about Centrum.
Yes.
Most guys, because they're also my client, when I talk to most people, they confuse you with Centrum. They get owners of Two Rivers.
Yes.
So probably just a brief who they are, the ad you did for them.
Yes.
Who are these guys?
I'm short of words when it comes to expressing my gratitude to who those guys are, because one thing that, as much as we were, I want to say the employees during the time that we were shooting, they really treated us well as one of them or part of them or of their team. And the managing director, Mr. George, a very nice guy who could ensure everyone is okay. And to begin with, the photographers. So technically, Centrim, this is a hotelier, or let's say a hotel company that deals with safaris, not only safaris, that also offers accommodation. Accommodation that is at large, even boardrooms for meetings. So for people who are in Mombasa, they can tap in Royal Castle. It offers accommodation, and also their meals really, they really take a good time in preparing their meals. And the boardrooms is also clean, and this is a space that you can even check in for a coffee, or an afternoon bite, breakfast. That is the Royal Castle. And when it comes to safaris, they give you an experience of the wild. They give you an experience that you might not be able to experience from the other safaris. That is to begin with Centrim Savo, which is really good. That is any day, anytime, someone who would like to check in Kenya and like to just have a view or get to know, to interact with the wild, I'll propose them. We have Masai Mara, and you know this is one of the biggest wildlife conservancy like we're having uh, here in Kenya, and it's a national park, one of the biggest national parks per se. It gives you the real touch and feel of nature, getting to interact with wild animals, chasing around each and every space or corner of the park. Having mentioned that, without forgetting, you also have Amboseli. You have Savo and Amboseli. And there's this view that people normally experience, and they captured it during our shoot. The elephant, when they come to drink water after a sunny day, and then now the view from the hotel, amazing stuff, spectacular for lack of a better word. And also for those who are in Nakuru, Elementaita as well offers you accommodation, and then now the feel of the lake. So I highly speak about them because I've experienced. It's like because this is a shoot that we did for 1 month. You understand? So that can tell the passion that I'm
Talking about,
talking
yes.
about. 1 week Mombasa, Savo 1 week, Century, Masai Mara 1 week, and so it's the best to go.
You've said it very well. I cannot even add. But I know, like you mentioned about George, the MD, the director, Mr. Pereno is just one of the most wonderful people that have met and spoken to. I remember last year when Miss Universe was going on and everyone was getting into this, and he called me and says, Licky, are you part of Miss Universe? And like, no, but I can try and get whatever you want. So like, I want to be part of it. So you saw the Miss Universe, the former Miss Universe, Irene, going into all those parks and marketing Centrum. So he's a guy who's ready to help talent. When I was doing a video for Beauty of Africa International Pageant, they gave me space at Elementaita and accommodation. Last week, 2 weeks ago during the Safari Rally, they sponsored one of the cars to stay at Elementaita. I've spent there. It's lakefront. It's amazing. So great work. I remember following up with you guys. Mombasa Castle, but the Castle is one of the oldest hotels in Mombasa, and it stands out at the city center. Most of the hotels at the beach. But if you're in business and you don't want a lot of noise, then Royal is the best place to be in Mombasa. I remember you guys Savo, then Amboseli. I remember the last time I was in Amboseli, and just that morning view of Mount Kilimanjaro is
perfect.
So enough about the advertising. You've also done fashion. You've done high-end hostessing. Some people say male models are not doing what they're not doing. I think it's just anything you want in this world. If you're focused, then you do it. I don't think when probably in campus and not very keen about modeling, you are laid back. But after you realize this can be a career, would you just simply advise the male models? See, it's actually an industry. I've seen a lot of male models. Their work is to become designers and look nice without doing a step further to try and look for work. Kindly advise.
So the way you have put it, in campus here, you might be laid back, but when you get outside here, you have to man up. What does that mean? You have bills to pay, and you're a grown man, so you won't be laid back anymore. You have to push, you have to get yourself outside there, and you have to get job, and you have to get even clients to work with. So one thing that makes people to go into fashion is they limit themselves, or rather they have a different view. Let's just say they limit, and the only thing that they see is fashion. But if you have, let's say, a wide view in a better sharp focus, you'll realize that modeling offers very many opportunities. For instance, if you are into marketing as well, leave alone fashion, because they're now the fashion designers. How about you go for the auditions, get roles for TVC, get roles for print? If that is not the case, then there's something that also coming up recently, most recently, it's brand influencing. And you find that right now we also have, or let's say people are brushing shoulders between content creators, models, male models, and even TikTokers. And these guys are putting in work and effort, and you find that brand at this level, they might be considering them compared to models. So by that, having said, you need to put in work.
Yeah.
You need to go outside there. And these I'm also talking to myself. It's not that I've made it. No. I still believe I'm at a step 4, and there is still 6 more to get a 10. You understand? So it's still also learning on the process, learning on the job, and then becoming better. Plus, we also have we have our own flaws. So getting better, and just the willpower of not giving up, but keep pushing and also diversifying. If it's fashion, how about you go about brand influencing? How about you become a brand ambassador? And for male models as well, I think one thing that have made also people look down upon us is the way we carry ourselves sometimes. If we carry ourselves of course, it doesn't mean that we don't carry ourselves in a better way. I think they also have to respect. But again, it goes back to the society. Modeling has never been considered as as an industry, as a profession per se. I remember when I was getting into it, they were like, okay, so my parents were like, okay, so are you going to be the first of the university? I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to be the first of the university. And then they're like, so what are you getting out of there? Like, apart from you being the first of the university. And then now the transition from university to outside here, they're like, they still wonder. My mom says, like, now that you go for auditions, I don't think if anything is going to change. I think like auditions are so much into your head. And I'm like, Mom, yes. Just like any other thing, I have to push. So you understand. So our parents, the society doesn't appreciate the industry. But it's high time to level up. I believe so. It's high time to also, and right now we have modeling masterclass that are happening or coming up or cropping up. These are things that you get to learn. Exactly. They shape you, they redefine you, and when you step outside there, you are so much informed. You have a lot of knowledge when it comes to packaging, and what matters right now as well is branding and pricing as well. Yeah, as a model, brand influence, and a brand ambassador.
Great, guys. You just had don't win a title or be a runners-up or whatever, and you feel you've done it all. Yeah. All you need to do is try and keep learning. Every day I learn new things. I've been in this industry for over 20 years, but I learn new things. You're lucky today you can do YouTube and learn very fast. So when you hear about masterclass, as DC has said, just go and learn one thing. You might know it all, but there's something that you'll get out of it. DC, before we leave, yes. The first time I saw you and I had when you're on stage, I was judging that night, and most people associate you with the sitting governor of Nairobi, Honorable Sakaja. They say you have a lookalike. How's that been? How do you handle it?
Man. Even today when I was coming at this place, 2 people. So a friend of mine was dropping me off at the stage. So immediately he dropped me off. Of course, he drove off. So a certain guy walked over me. I was like, is it you or it's Sakaja? Yeah. This morning. And then I just told him people look alike. He was like, no. Maybe you're trying to get intelligence. I'm like, no, I'm not Sakaja. When I alighted at the second spot, again, another guy was like, Sakaja, tukubebe. I'm like, yeah. No, it's not him, it's me. that is today. And it's been something that has been going on for the past 5 years since I stepped into the limelight. I get it a lot. Even when I go to shop, even in Mudurwa, I would say this time this guy had to hike the price because he felt like I'm Sakaja's kid, bro. Leave alone that, like, from that day when you saw, I think it got worse. Not in a bad way though, because there's a time I got recognized as maybe his associate or maybe his kid, bro, and was given the front seat. And I was like, thank you. That is the first time.
Yes.
And even when I go to board Matatu, like Governor Sakaja, like I get it a lot. I can't remember how many times they even went to an extent, someone even asked my dad. There's this guy along Thika Road, of course. He looks like Governor Sakaja. Could you be knowing, because he also tends to look like you? And then my dad is like, he smiled or giggled. He knew it was me. So just to clear the areas again, I have to face the camera now. I'm not by any chance or luck related to Nairobi boss, Governor Sakaja. So it's just, they say we all have body doubles. We might be looking like 3 other people. So it's just a look-alike. But it has gotten to a point, where during the Mandamano, people had to cross shoulders. So this is the story. So on Sundays, when I'm free, when I'm not on set or when I'm not doing a lot of stuff, I normally walk out with a pen and book, go sit down, do my reading as I plan a week ahead, how it will look like, what to work on. So this time, I was chilled afternoon, Sunday afternoon. There's a spot called, is it Honey Place somewhere in along Muhuri Road. So during that time, it was politically heated. So 2 teams walked in. Dagoretti's MP team, that is KJ, John Kiarie, and Sakaja's team, that is I can't place who was heading, but we can see that that's the team. So one team, of course, I go there before them. So one team sat on the other side, the other team sat on this side. So I was at the middle. So doing my own stuff, minding my own business. So this lady approaches me and then she's like, those people over there, they're saying that you look like our boss. I'm like, at the back of my mind, I'm like, I've seen this before. I was like, okay, so what are they saying? They're saying you look like Sakaja. I just giggled. They requested for a picture. So I had to do the way he does this thing. So KJ's team again also requested for the picture with me doing this thing. And remember, that is during Mandamano, politically heated. So they went and shared the pictures in a WhatsApp group. I'm told the governor asked, who is this guy? Then for Kiarie, thought his team had deflected to Sakaja's team. So he saw me and it was like, he was furious at some point. Kukawa na ish. So he had to be explained, no, it's not the governor. It's just a lookalike. So that is how serious it has been.
You got to that time, yeah.
Yes. So I think that is the most serious case that I've experienced, apart from the normal random Sakaja.
And that's great. I know KJ was a classmate in the Great High School.
Yes.
I can mention that. And this time we need Sakaja to meet the junior Sakaja. So I'll talk to my friend Shafiwero and we can organize for a meetup. But that's why you're a model. The model makes another brand looks like or look better than it is. So before we close, I just want you to face the camera and just advise that young model, that young male model, what not to do and what to do. Just a short advice.
So once again, this is one thing that I'll repeat and reiterate. If you're a model, you have to start working on your portfolio And one thing right now, there is a lot of transition going around. So you need to also brand yourself. You need to also stick and believe in what you know it's best for you. Sometimes you vie, sometimes you go for the Sash, sometimes you contest, you fail. But one thing that I need to tell you is you don't need to quit. You don't need to give up, but keep pushing and keep pressing. The second thing is leveling up. How fit are you? Leave alone even being fit. How is your physique? You also need to work on your physique. More so if you're a male model, you need to work on your physique, the way you walk, the way you present yourself, the way you talk. Someone need to see influence, someone needs to see leadership, someone needs to see passion in you. So by a quick start, you should start working on your physique. Join a gym, leave alone even gym. You can start home workouts, and it will take you to a better space or a better place when it comes to physique. The second thing is, or rather, third thing is, you also need to be connected to your God. You know, as much as we are all here trying to win this, trying to win that, at the end of the day, if you have God's favor, then trust you me, He's going to open doors and give you favor in the eyes of men, in the eyes of kings, and nothing will be impossible. As much as there are hard times, but the grace is sufficient to pull you through and to keep you grounded in such a way that you can't imagine. The other thing that I can say also, work on your fashion, brand yourself, package yourself. I experienced this question yesterday. Someone asked me, what do I need to do to be a model? This is an advice that I gave him. You need to start to work on your portfolio, go in the studio, get some good pictures that speak something about you, package them nicely, such that when time comes, if you share with a brand, or if you share with, let's say, even Runway Kings, someone can see something, and then work on your fashion. You need to do away with just dressing for casual dressing. No, you're a model, you represent something. And then now, after all is in check, then now you can think of going.
Where to go. Beautiful advice. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to the studio, just letting us know what exactly is happening out there. I like the last statement of God comes first.
Yes.
In Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek ye the kingdom of God, and the rest will abundantly come."
Yes.
We are happy. We are proud of God giving us this session to keep going. We are on episode 6 of season 2. We cannot say we did it by ourselves. It's the grace of God. Yeah. If you have not turned the button to subscribe to keep us moving, kindly subscribe to Sash and Style, and you learn more about what modeling, fashion, and design is all about. See you next week for season 2, episode 7. Bye. Good night.